And welcome to another edition of Coast to Coast. I am your co host, Brian, aka Beyond 716, here with the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Whittle 2K. We are here. Whittle, it was 227 days ago since the Bills last played football against Cincinnati Bengals. It feels like an eternity, doesn't it? We are now a mere four sleeps away from the first game of the season on Monday Night Football. And what a setting it's going to be. 9/11. We all know what that brings, what kind of elicits a lot of emotion, especially for you and me. You got the New York Jets, national TV, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, can you believe it? We are almost here. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. But before we get into anything else, the first picture that came up after our intro was our former Buffalo Bills and Tampa Bay receiver, Mike Williams, who I understand right now. We thought he had passed away, but Mike Williams is currently on life support in a medically induced coma right now. Our prayers go out, to the family and the friends of Mike Williams, and to the Buffalo Bills and Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan base and organization. You never want to see one of your own. Um, you never want to see anybody in this type of predicament, but especially it hits different when it's one of your own. We went through this last year with Damar Hamlin, so
Mhm.
we are definitely cognizant of how big and how important this moment is. So, we wanted to, we wanted to start this off the right way and ensure that we gave some love, sent some love and some prayers his way. So, whatever your belief system is, whether it's good vibes or it's prayer to a higher power, send it towards Mike Williams and his family and his loved ones, and and then
Absolutely.
yeah. So, but with that being said, like you said, man, we got we got football, bro. We got football. We
Yeah.
got games that matter. Um, yeah, it's time to go. Like it's definitely time to go. Um,
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it. I have been waiting patiently with a sour taste in my mouth
Mhm.
um, since pause that, but since the Cincinnati game, and now we're here. So um, with that being said, man, let's get right into it. The Buffalo Bills
Absolutely.
they named their starters. Not a lot of surprises, but a couple of names that surprised us already. Christian Benford, cornerback number 2. To me, that was a surprise. I thought it was a Dane Jackson, Kyer Elam thing, but Benford Benford's the better core. Benford to me is the better zone corner guy. He's much more physical than Dane Jackson, a little more athletic as well. If you remember back when we played Miami last year in week 3,
Yep.
um, the only thing that freed Jalen Waddle from the car seat that he was strapped into
Mhm.
was was our boy Christian Benford breaking his hand. 6th round pick out of Villanova. Like, he was a ringer, man. We knew he was going to be good before the draft even started. So, they got the Buffalo Bills got some inside information. And hey, man, here we are. So, what do you think
Even
about the other stars?
I mean, just real quick on Benford, he ended Whittle, right? I mean, some people will say, what does that mean about Kyrie Elam? What does that say about Brandon Bean? But I look at it as the draft as a whole, right? Okay, maybe so far Elam has had mixed reviews, but he may have hit a home run here with Benford. So for me, it's not about where you picked, it's how you play when you get here. And kudos to Christian for going out and taking that job. So on that front, and also
Right.
we do have Terrell Bernard at middle linebacker. I would say I was just slightly surprised. I guess I thought maybe McDermott would go with the guy he knew a little bit more in Dotson, but you and I have spoke about Dotson a lot, and just the gaps he has in his inability to fill the run gap. Some inefficiencies there. I think the time is now for Terrell. We got to find out. It is baptisms under fire. This is a tough matchup Monday night against one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. It's going to be a big challenge, but I think it's time. We got to find out. It's week 1. we all know it's going to take time for them to gel and evolve, and we're playing for November, December, and January. So why delay the inevitable at this point, in my opinion, on that front? And what
Yeah.
can you say? Oh, go ahead, Will.
No, I'm sorry. So we'll go. We got coach in the comments, man. I appreciate everybody checking in.
Yes,
No
thank you.
Dodson. Yes. Terrell Dodson has played. His play has ensured that the guy who took no snaps during the preseason and pretty much was out with an injury is going to be the day one starter in Terrell Bernard. So, yeah, no Terrell Dodson. I mean, listen, we love Dodson as a depth guy, but yeah, man, we love him as a depth guy, but I mean that's about it. I do not want to see him start. We saw him play big snaps last year against Minnesota. It did not look good. The moments he did play against the Jets, they weren't great. He has not played well in game action, especially last year. So he's been good in other years, but I mean last year he was pretty bad in coverage, pretty bad in his run fits. Even in the preseason this year, missed tackles, and I mean like you're missing tackles and you're not even slowing people down. So
Yep.
yeah, I think that's a good move by McDermott. And something that McDermott never does is start rookies. And that leads us to the next guy. They call him Cybo, Osiris Torrance. He is huge. Okay. Arguably the best guard prospect in the draft this year. He fell to us in the second round at 59. I was super surprised to see him there. I was kind of hoping for a linebacker in the second round because I thought Torrance would be gone by then, but I don't see how you pass up on a guy like that. So, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, it's going to
and
be
maybe
awesome.
that's what, Will, maybe that's part of McDermott's evolution, right? We talk about players and how, is Josh going to learn from things he could have done better or things like that? We see it from coaches. We don't talk about that enough, right? It's not like they come in the league year one and they've hit their peak. They learn, evolve. Even Andy Reid in his days in Philadelphia, we spoke about it. I remember the clock management issues that Eagle fans used to complain about for hours and hours on WIP, right? And just the weird decisions he would make and things. Look how long it took Andy Reid to get there. Not saying McDermott is Andy Reid, but I'm just trying to make a parallel that, hey, maybe we are seeing some changes. I wanted to ask you about Dotson. Do you think once Kirksey is ready, do you think Dotson's days are numbered on this roster? You think he gets sent to the practice squad or flat out waived?
I think he ends up on a practice squad. He is solid depth because he has shown us in the past, not last year, but definitely 2021. Like he showed you he could play in small spurts. Nothing too major. Like he's not a guy you want to hand the green dot to, but he plays well in spurts. So I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad at that at all if they put him on a practice squad. But Kirksey's a better player, and look, the Bills they keep managing they keep figuring out ways to get better and stay cheap when they do it. So that's been the thing this offseason was get better in spots and remain financially as flexible as possible, and they've been able to do it. But with that, we're going into that. The active roster hasn't been named yet. I think that's probably going to come out tomorrow of who's going to be active and inactive. I'm not sure who's going to be inactive yet, but my guess would be Ryan Van DeMark on the offensive line and Alec and probably Van DeMark. No. Actually, no, probably not Van DeMark. It'll probably be Ifedi because he's new. He hasn't been here. He just got here a week ago. Maybe not even.
Yes. About a week.
Yeah, so I think he'll be inactive. I think there's been talk that maybe Poona Ford's inactive. I don't know how true that is. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I would think that they would maybe go with a guy like Tim Settle being inactive, but we'll see. We'll see. I think Kingsley Jonathan's inactive. And that's probably, man, like, I don't know. Like, I think we got to keep as many corners as possible. There was talk that maybe Kyer with being active. I don't see that happening, man.
No.
Garrett Wilson's too good. Garrett Wilson's too good of a receiver to have one of your better man press corner. You're actually your best man press corner in street clothes. Like I don't see that happening. So, I don't know, man. They got some decisions to make on who's on the final 48. But without further ado, I have to apologize. I was trying to line up some special guests, and it did not. It fell through. I do believe that these gentlemen will be on this show at some point this season, but for right now, this particular show we were not able to make it happen tonight. I thought it was confirmed, and it is what it is. Here we are. We did manage to get some guests though. We did manage to get some guests, some Twitter superstars. The DILF of Jets Twitter, my buddy. He is I'm like super fan is like a bad. I think that's a bad term, or it can be taken in a negative connotation. But when I say it about my man Petey, like he's a super fan. Like this guy bleeds green, 100%. And he's a friend of mine. Like this guy's got my number. He can call me whenever. And he pulled up to our tailgate last year. We chopped it up. We had a few wings and talked. Man, this is a good dude. So without further ado, let's bring Petey to the stage. My guy, Petey, what's up,
Petey?
man?
JETS, Jets.
Oh,
there we go.
What's up, man?
Welcome to Coast to Coast, man. Since you're here.
Thanks for coming on, Petey. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me. Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah, there it is. We'll be seeing that on Monday night.
The bling out
right?
just for you.
All right.
We seeing that Monday night for sure.
First of all, my condolences to Mike Williams and the Bills family and all that. I was at the Dennis Bird game for the Jets, and that was really traumatic. Especially I was 1991. I think I was 14 years old, and I didn't know what was going on. It was like it was sad, man. And I'm like, Dad, what's going on? And it was just I didn't know. Like I was young, but now it's just unfortunate when something like this happens. So, but beyond, it's nice to meet you, Whittle. What up?
You too, Whittle.
I'm ready for week one. This is this is real exciting. Thanks for having me too, by the way.
Of course,
it's our pleasure.
But we didn't stop. We did not stop there. We also have another Jets fan. I don't want to say he's new to the spaces. I think he's kind of new to really interacting on the level that he has been lately, but extremely knowledgeable. Like if you know me from spaces on Twitter, you know that there are spaces where I can talk trash, and then there are spaces where we talk ball. And this gentleman I'm bringing up now, like he talks ball. He's one of the few level-headed Jets fans on Twitter. Well, Petey, put the guns away, man, please. Jesus, come on, guys.
They're not.
That's the deal for Twitter, man.
Hold on.
Took it to the gun show, man. Nice.
Nah,
yeah, right. You see that?
I'm not.
Don't blush,
bro.
Petey. We're gonna bring. You don't have to, man. You don't have to, man.
Are we on a delay, bro?
24. What did Mike?
I'm on a delay here.
A little bit.
Yeah. All right. Let me. Should I go on my computer?
All right.
No, you're good, Petey.
Yeah, you good, bro. We'll just
all right.
We'll adjust. We'll adjust. We're gonna bring Paul to the stage. He goes by Biz. Like I said, man, extremely knowledgeable guy. Let's get Biz to the stage.
What's up, y'all?
Biz, what's going on, man?
Paul.
Yeah,
nice
I appreciate you. Yeah,
what's going on, man? It's good to have you, bro.
Yeah, chilling. Like I've been saying to kind of everybody in the spaces, we've been talking all off season, back and forth. Like you said, there's times when we can yell and scream at each other, but there's times when we chop it up and talk ball. And I'm ready for all that talking to kind of slow down and let the teams kind of speak for us. We still got a few things to talk out here leading up into it. I'm sure some points that you guys want to know about the Jets and and I'm ready. I appreciate you having me on. And good to see you, Petey.
Oh, no doubt, man, no doubt.
Likewise, bro.
And we could not have a live show without bringing in the mayor of Bills Mafia. This man does so much for the Bills Mafia community. He's a superstar. Listen, you can find this man. You can find him at any Bills game, home or away, playoffs or regular season. You may see him. You may see him at a tailgate. You may hear him in a space yelling at somebody, or you may see him on a golf cart yelling on a golf course, yelling at his phone, hacking somebody up. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Bills Mafia, the one and only Warlock 6, aka LeSean Jermaine. Welcome to the stage. He's driving right now, but you know.
What's good,
What's up, bro?
everybody? My bad.
What's up,
I
man?
had
Look
to,
at this.
I had to pick my daughter up from work,
Now,
so my bad that I'm on the phone driving.
It's all good, LeSean. Thanks for coming on.
What's up, LeSean?
now you good, man.
What's up,
I'm just
Beyond?
glad
What
that
up,
you was
what up,
able
what
to
up?
come on with us.
Man.
What up, PD?
Yo.
This is great.
What
a
we
great
talking
guy.
about?
Well, we're
man.
getting ready to set up the matchup, Bills Jets week 1. I had a question for the Jet fans to start, especially, PD, I've known you longer, and Paul, I look forward to get to knowing you. But PD and you and I are about the same age, right? Where do you put this game in terms of, we've seen the Jets in the mid 2010s under Rex when they had a couple Super Bowl possibilities there. In the 80s, you guys were excellent. Like, what do you think the buzz is going to be or at the stadium that night compared to some other games you may have seen or some other times in Jets history as far as you've been a fan?
I mean, that's a great question. It's going to be, to me, top notch. I've been to the playoff games. You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, Paul, what's up again? I think, this is going to be like on a level that we've never seen it at MetLife. Like, MetLife opened up in 2010. I mean, we opened with the Giants at home on a preseason game. It was a playoff atmosphere. Unfortunately, the Jets have only had 2 home playoff games since I've had season tickets. I've been going, for a long time. But the Jacksonville game and the 2009 Patriot game, there's handfuls of games because, listen, I'll be honest, Jets haven't been really good, but they had that stretch with Parcells and then Herm, and then we had it with Rex, and then that little bullcrap year with Fitz tragic, I will call it, not Fitz magic. And I think it's going to be deafening there. I really do. Like, it's going to be a special atmosphere, and I think the Bills fans are going to enjoy the atmosphere. It's going to be fun, man. We're under the lights. This is I'm really excited, man. Like, this is one of the most exciting games it's been for me to go to with all the anticipation.
Yeah, I agree. And you consider just 9/11 Monday night, Aaron Rodgers' debut, just hear those Jet chants to start the game. Like, that buzz, I just get chills thinking about, we're all going to be at the game. I think it's going to be one of the best atmospheres to start a game any of us have ever been a part of. I truly believe.
And beyond, just to come off of that point, because I don't want to take up too much time, I was at the 9/11 10th anniversary when they revealed, they opened the memorial. Man, there wasn't a dry eye in that place, man. I mean, even you could see, like, even Tony Romo was teared up, Sanchez, Mangold. There were firefighters crying, and it's a real somber day for us Americans, and
absolutely.
And I will never forget, I always try and go to like a flagpole that day and get on my knee, to pray. So it's going to be emotional to begin, but we got to play football.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, Viz, man. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Viz. So,
No, you're good.
Jets fan, very knowledgeable Jet fan. If you want to speak a little bit about 9/11 and how it's meaningful to this era, this area or to the Jets. Take the time to. I have my own personal story, and I'll share a little bit of that when after you get your opportunity.
Yeah, so I'll go back and I got my Jets fandom inherited from my father. One of those things that I think we all carry it with the family. A lot of us do, and he was lucky enough to be able to catch the train back when the Jets practice out near Long Island and go to the practices, watch Joe Namath, and just with 9/11, I'm 30 years old, so I remember I was in second or third grade when it happened, and he picked me up, and it was me and him together. Me and him, he passed down his Jets fandom to me. I was at the 9/11 game last year when we opened up against the Ravens, and Petey, to your point, like this game against the Bills, I already know opening up on Monday night with Aaron Rodgers, that place is going to be absolutely electric because last year, half the upper deck in the bowl wasn't even sold out with the Baltimore game, but you felt it. You still felt it in the stadium, just how much that means to everyone as Americans. I was actually sitting next to two people from London who were on holiday, and they said, we want to come here because it's the New York football team playing on the anniversary of 9/11. So not just us as Americans, but people around the world and the impact that it has. It's something that I don't think any of us, we all have our own story, but we really can't speak on it just in how important it is to us as Americans and everybody across the world. So it's going to be special for sure. I really don't know what else to say about that. You guys are in for a treat. I'm sure they're going to do something special for everybody, all the fans in attendance and everybody there. That moment of silence across the nation, that's going to be one of the most watched football games of the year starting off.
Yeah,
No question about it.
you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct on that. My little personal story on 9/11. I'm going to date myself a little bit here. I was a freshman in college when it actually happened. And I remember being in class. Like I was in class when this was going on. I was in was it chemistry? I think I was in chemistry. And just sitting in class a regular day, man. And somebody ran into the classroom and to grab like a student and pulls her out of class. And then another student looked on their phone and grabbed their stuff and ran out of the classroom. And the professor's like, "Where are you going?" And she said, "My father works in the towers, and a plane just crashed into the tower that he works in." So she ran out, and everybody we go out. Everybody gets up, we go outside, and we're standing in like the common area of the hall that we were in for classes, and we're looking, and there's this TV and the big TV in there. We're looking and we're watching as the second plane hits the tower, bro. And that was it was a surreal moment. I had just joined the military, so I took off and I grabbed all my stuff. I let my professor know, say, "Hey, I'm in the military. I'm sure my unit's gonna call me." Sure enough, the very next class that I went to, the military advisor for the school came in, called my name, said, "You have a phone call." I went to the office, got the phone call with my unit saying, "Go home, get your stuff, and report back as soon as possible." So, we just lost Lee Sean, but he'll be back. So I'm driving home. I'm on the Garden State Parkway, flying, bro, literally flying. There's no traffic out there, nothing. And a police car pulls me over. He's like, "Hey, you know what's going on?" I said, "Yeah, I'm in the military." Yada. He said, "All right, no problem." Escorts me home. I get home. My mother and my sisters are there, like my small sister. They were very small. And you could just see it on her face, like my son's getting ready to go to war. So it was crazy, man. That was a very, very emotional moment, even to this moment now. I mean, I hate to change the flow of, we're getting ready for a football game, but that there's some perspective that needs to be I think that needs to be pointed out here. We're sitting in the comfort of our homes and getting ready to go to a football game. Our teams are playing, and there are soldiers overseas that are going to be watching this game. And 9/11 means something different to everybody for different reasons. So definitely shout out to all of the soldiers, shout out to all of the military members, and shout out to the families that lost loved ones to the crashes and to the health issues that follow with the cleanup, et cetera, et cetera. It sucks that negative things have to happen to bring us together as a country, but I feel like we're stronger in times of crisis as a nation. But with that being said, Beyond, do you want to add?
I mean, I mean, listen, I think it's important that we talk about this, right? I mean, we're all from. Paul, are you from Jersey? I'm not really sure where you're from.
I grew up all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
but and that's what it was. Every Sunday, I was at the bars following the Jets, watching it with my dad. So that's how I became the fan. But yeah, he grew up in Long Island. I grew up all over America.
Yeah. So we all have New York City metro, basically ties, right? PD, obviously, you're from Central Jersey like me, right? Whittle from North Jersey. I mean, my quick story is that day I woke up, right? I was off from work and you see what's going on TV. My father from Buffalo, of all people, is the one that called me to tell me. He never calls me on Tuesday mornings because my mom used to work across the street at Merrill Lynch when they were together. I said, nah, mom works at Midtown now. Why is this such a big thing on Tuesday morning, right? Like what's going on, right? It's a beautiful day. Long story short, you find out what's going on. Then you start calling all the friends, going through the Rolodex. And then I remembered my friend Chris Dinkov just took a job on the 92nd floor at a place called Car Futures. And unfortunately, our friend Chris did not make it out. So my heart sunk when I heard it, and we're just waiting for the news. And, we all know it touched us all in different ways, right? Some of us very, very strongly we all feel like New Yorkers. Like, I grew up in Jersey, but I went to college in New York. I worked in New York. Like New York is part of our soul. So I think tying it into the football game and we celebrate this football game, it's important that we do pause and remember that. So yeah, it's I'm going down to when I come into town, I'm going to go down to the memorial down there, which is beautiful. Go see my buddy on there. It's very tough, but it's something I feel like Petey said, take a knee, say a prayer. It's definitely a good thing. And also a coach in our group chat. Thank you, Whittle, for your service, man. We really appreciate that, man. All you do for us.
Amen, bro.
That's something we never take that for granted. It's one of the most selfless things you could do. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Now let's talk about some football. Petey, you're my boy, man. I love you to death. And it pains me that we have to come to your building and start you guys off on one. I'm sorry that it's had to happen this way. But as a Jets fan, talk to me about your team, man. Some of the moves that you guys made in the offseason. This is a new look Jets team. It's definitely not the same old Jets. So talk to me a little bit about the Jets and what your expectations are for this team this year.
All right, so should I not go to the game since you guys are automatically going to win?
No, man, definitely come, man.
Is your ticket available?
You got to see
No, listen. The one thing I will not do is sell my season tickets. I've missed 3 home games since 1998, so I will not sell my tickets. Yeah, I bleed green, but we got McCole Hardman, Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, Alan Lazard. Re-signed Quincy Williams, brought in Chuck Clark. That didn't work because he got hurt. But I'm excited for the season. I'm keeping my expectations low because, I'm a Jet fan, but they have to make the playoffs in my eyes. This team, I think they will make the playoffs. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I do think, the Jets are going to win a close nail-biter. I think it could go either way. I think it's going to come down to one of the last drives, to be honest. And I think it's just going to be a bloodbath. These teams hate each other, and it's going to be it's going to be a dogfight. And I expect the Jets to be in this game. I don't expect Buffalo to blow us out. I don't expect us to blow them out. And I think the Jets, are going to have a pretty good season. There's going to be some bumps in the road, though. There's a lot of new pieces here. So, but when we have Aaron Rodgers, we now have a chance. Like you guys, as long as you have Josh Allen behind center for the next 10 years, you guys got a shot. And now we have a shot with our quarterback. So I'm pumped.
Yeah. I'm gonna go off of what Petey said, because this Jets team, we'd been putrid, and we know what Bills fans know what it's like to be putrid for long periods of time. I mean,
we do.
Growing up the early 2000s, unfortunately, I don't mean to fire shots like that, but that's just the reality. Sean McDermott came around, you got Josh Allen, and now you're seeing on the way up. The team, the culture has changed, and you guys have seen it through to fruition. And you have a young quarterback, like Petey said, that is going to keep you guys in contention for, honestly, as long as he's there and as long as Bean can manage the cap. Now, Joe Douglas has done a miraculous job with an all-time draft last year with Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Jermaine Johnson, in flipping this team in a term of 3 years that, from what we rolled out 3 years ago with Sam Darnold, I mean, he was throwing to guys, 3 of his receivers aren't even in the league now. The offensive line is almost completely flipped over from everybody minus the center. We didn't have any of these guys on defense minus Quinnen Williams and CJ Mosley. It's wonderful what he's done. So the question mark for me is, can this coach take all this talent and put it together? Because I see a team that is so amazingly talented, and if they can play up to their potential, we'll be able to compete with anybody that we go up against. I'm talking the likes of Buffalo, the Eagles, San Francisco, Kansas City. And it's just going to take the coach and these players playing with each other. Because if we know one thing about football, it's a game of momentum and it's a team game. And these guys have all the talent in the world to get it done.
You mentioned the coach, right? And I just wanted to get your guys' perspective on where Robert Saleh is in terms of job security. Like, you feel confident about. I think he's done a really good job. I even like what he did the first year. Even the first year he came in, I felt like that Jet team, even though they weren't winning a lot of games, they never stopped competing, and that told me something about the coach, right? But how do you guys feel about where he is? Like, is there a lot more pressure now? Does it accelerate? Like, if, let's say, you didn't make the playoffs, I mean, they're not going to do anything unthinkable and change coaches, right? You feel like where do you just in general, where do you feel that they are with him right now?
I'll kick this one off, Petey. And I do think, from what we've talked about in Spaces, me and Petey differentiate on this a little bit, but I'm higher on Saleh than a lot of Jets fans. I've listened to his vision, and we've done the 1 to 2 year coaches and then flip it because it's not working and the team gives up. But to your point, Beyond, no one in the organization has given up on Saleh yet. I saw strides from year 1 to year 2 in terms of the way that he handled adversity, the way that the players played for him, and even some clock management decisions. Even though he wasn't perfect, he did improve from year 1 to year 2, game planning against specific opponents like Bill Belichick and just other coaches. We were competitive in almost every game last year outside of a couple. And I think that all goes into the head coach. Now, what I want to see him be able to do this year is, there's no room for excuses now. You have the talent, you have the roster. Unless we have a rash of injuries, God forbid, like we had on the offensive line last year, or one positional group where we're just signing guys off the street and having them play, 3 days from getting signed, he doesn't have any excuses to lose. And like Petey said, the expectation should be playoffs. If you guys watched Hard Knocks, the expectation from Aaron Rodgers, from the head coach and everybody in the organization, is to win and compete to win the division. That is your number one goal. That is your easiest path through the playoffs. Not saying we'll get it done, but they don't have any excuses. And to finish your point, Beyond, I can't see, unless we stay healthy and he goes 6-10 with this roster, he's safe. His job is safe as long as Rodgers is here.
I can jump in real quick. I actually think that Salah's safe too. I think he's tied with Rodgers now because
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Fire the coach next year and bring somebody else in and then change everything up? I mean, he came here, he was sold on Salah and Douglas, so I'm Paul, great points here. It's good to hear you're not on a space, but in here, this is pretty cool. And thanks again, Whittle and Beyond, for this. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I just think Salah now, unless it goes completely south at 3-14, which I mean I can't see. I mean, I'd be stunned, but
Yeah.
I think they're safe. So, and plus they don't want to. They're already paying. They paid enough coaches, that they fired. The last, they fired Bowles, then they got Gase. It's ridiculous. We need stability as a franchise.
Yeah.
And I like Salah. I just don't like his clock management. I think he did good in the Pittsburgh game last year, and you guys can attest.
Mhm.
The Jets ran the ball down Buffalo's throat at the end of the game at MetLife, and they managed the clock really well. I think that's what won them the game, to be honest. That whole drive, but he's got to show me more, Salah. I love his enthusiasm, though, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, we were missing a few guys, so I think that kind of helped out. I mean, what I like about this
Yeah.
game is that it's week 1 and everybody is relatively healthy. There are no excuses for this game. So there's going to be a fan base that's going to be very, very sad Monday night, depending on how this game goes. Um, I do like, as most of you guys know, PD, I know my dad is a Jets fan, and listen, man, I mean, I got a bunch of buddies up here, some friends of mine that are Jet fans as well. Some of them might be watching. Yeah, I do like some of the moves the Jets made. Getting Dalvin Cook was huge. Gives you the chance to kind of ease Brees Hall back into the his role like as the lead back on his team. Um, I like the addition of Randall Cobb because I think he brings a veteran leadership and in case of emergency break glass type of player that can come in and be a chain mover for you. I think your wide receiver room is complementary of each other. You have a big down the field threat in Alan Lazard. You have a small, shifty speed guy in Mecole Hardman, and you have your number one target in Garrett Wilson. The tight ends, I'm cool with too. I really liked Rucker coming out of Ohio State, man. I really, 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 really liked him. I was hoping that Buffalo like snatched him up in like the 6th round or something because, I mean, to me, I mean, he's not the same athlete that Dawson Knox is, but I think he's similar along those lines as a player. I think he can do a lot of things once given the opportunity. He's got a really good catch radius, strong kid, good inline blocker. I think he's going to help out. And I love your defense. I love everything but the hype that Sauce gets. I'm not a fan of your safeties or your linebackers too much, but everything else, man. I mean, I think you guys got the best cornerback duo in the NFL. I think Quentin Williams is a top 3, not number 3 defensive tackle. I think he's probably second. We know Aaron Donald's in a class by itself. I don't even think about Aaron Donald when I'm ranking current defensive tackles. Like it's Aaron Donald, and then there's everybody else. So I would say Chris Jones is probably the most dominant force at defensive tackle right now in the league. And then I would have to give Quentin a nod right after that, man. He affects the pass, he affects the run. The kid is really, really good. Came from Alabama, so I mean, what do you expect? Like that's what they do. They breed defensive tackle monsters. We used to have one of our own in Marcel Darius. But with all that being said, PD Biz, it is not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough on Monday. The Buffalo Bills have added they've added weapons to this roster, man. That gives us the opportunity to attack every area of the field. I know what you guys have on the edge. I'm telling you right now, Spencer Brown is going to shock a lot of people. I had to go back and watch the tape myself from the preseason, man. Spencer Brown is looking a lot better. And he still has issues with the speed rush. And I know you guys have a bunch of speed demons on that defensive end. You got the kid you drafted, Will McDonald, I believe. Will McDonald,
Yep,
you got
Will
Bryce
McDonald.
Huff, and you got Jermaine Johnson. I mean, those guys, yeah, athletic monsters, all three of them. But adding Kincaid gives us the opportunity to go 12 personnel. That's for all you people who don't know, it's one running back and two tight ends. So if somebody asks you what 12 personnel is, make sure you know it before you get on Twitter, okay? So two tight ends that give we can keep an inline guy in Dawson Knox as a security blanket for that wide aligned pass rush that the Jets like to use. So when you guys try to line up at that 45-degree angle from Spencer Brown, we're gonna leave Dawson Knox in there to help funnel that pass rusher back into Spencer Brown's chest, where he can handle we can handle the guy and hopefully get him on the ground. But yeah, it's gonna be a game, man. Like I think this is gonna be a tough game. I don't expect it to be a blowout either way. But I think it's gonna come down to offensive execution. Who makes the least amount of mistakes? Who can sustain drives? Who can get the ball down the field and put their team in a position to get points on the majority of your drives? Like, I mean, it sounds so simple, but when you're playing against a team that you face twice a year, every year, it is much more difficult than it sounds to get down the field because these teams know each other and they know each other so well.
It's interesting because
I'm sorry, guys. My fault. LeSean's gonna jump back in when he gets on his laptop. He had to hop out for a second. Go ahead, Viz.
No, yeah, it's interesting because I remember Salah had a press conference. I'm not sure if it was year one or last year, where he's comparing the defense that Buffalo runs to the Jets defense. And he said that they run a very similar scheme. So these offenses should be pretty familiar with what they're going up against on the other side. Obviously, the players are different. Their alignment's going to be different, and the way they react is going to be different. But at least scheme-wise, it's pretty similar. The questions that I have is the aging safeties, the loss of Tremaine Edmonds, and how your defensive line, I know you got Ed Oliver, is going to stack up against our offensive line. And our offensive line is a huge question mark, not so much for the sake saying that we don't know if they're going to be good, because it's just health. If Mekhi Becton can stay healthy, if we didn't lose Elijah Vera Tucker, going back to your point, Whittle, about, we beat you with players lost. We lost our two best players 2 games before we played you guys last year, in Elijah Vera Tucker and Breece Hall. Guy as a rookie, you're projecting Kincaid to do well. Well, Breece Hall was on track for 2,000 all-purpose yards before he got hurt. Elijah Vera Tucker was on track to become an all-pro guard there, and we lost them in the same game, along with our starting outside receiver in Corey Davis. This was before Garrett Wilson was really him. So the O-line just needs to stay healthy, and I think that they'll play serviceable. And if they do, they'll be top 16 in the league, and I think that's reasonable saying that. If all those guys, the healthy 5, can stay there, they'll be all right. The questions that I have against defending your offense is exactly like you said. We have a new safety playing in the back end in Tony Adams. They hit him all the preseason, so we don't even have tape to watch on him. And we also have a new outside linebacker, weak side, in Jamie Sherwood. And this is a guy who converted from safety. He put on weight in the limited reps that he's had. I think he had like 12 snaps last year. He played well. He made every tackle, it seemed, on every play that he came in. But can he consistently do that throughout an entire game, throughout an entire season? Can he play full speed from the first quarter through the fourth, especially against a guy like Kincaid, who, we all know if that kid gets it, he's going to be good. And as soon as he does get it, he's going to be good. So I'm worried about you stretching the field down the middle, down the seam, how we can cover that. But I think this Jets defense, at least on the corners and the defensive line, is kind of built to take care of the Buffalo Bills. It's those tight ends I worry about.
Like I said, I'm always going to give you guys the credit for Sauce and DJ Reed. I think signing DJ Reed and then drafting Sauce in the same offseason was brilliant. You definitely set yourselves up to compete in the division, and I have to say one thing I have to say though is that last year, man. Last year, I don't think we really utilized Diggs all over the field the way we should have.
Yeah.
This year so far, what I've seen so far in the preseason is Diggs has been moved around a lot. They're using him a lot in pre-snap motion, and they're gonna move him around not to dictate, not to just change the way what the defense is doing or to get a rotation for someone else. I think they're just doing this to get Diggs in a position where he can get an advantageous matchup and make some things happen. For all the hype and love that Sauce Gardner gets, 70+% of the time, Sauce Gardner was guarding wide receiver number 2 on the other team. DJ Reed, in my opinion, might be the best corner in football. I think DJ Reed might be the best corner in football. It's him, Patrick Surtain, Jair Alexander, and that's like my list, bro. Like those are the top guys. I love Tariq Woolen. I like there are other guys that are really good as well. That Slay didn't have a bad year last year. There are other guys that are good. Denzel Ward is another guy that comes to mind immediately, but they're not like these guys. Like Reed is a different breed, man. Reed is one of the great ones, and he's playing that way. So I think that they're going to get an opportunity. I think they're going to give Diggs an opportunity to go against Sauce. Sauce is shown to have issues dealing with smaller, shiftier guys. So I think we're going to run a lot of guys like that at him this year, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where the chips fall. Petey, man, I will be there. My shoulder is there for you, bro, when this game is over. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to hide. Don't worry. I won't. I'm not going to hide. By the way, I'm looking at the chat. Shout out to Dog and June.
Yeah, it's been lively.
June popped in. What's up, man?
Yo, Dog called me a thug, man. I'm laughing.
Yeah. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Yeah, the chat is popping today, man. We appreciate everybody.
Yes,
popping up,
really
pulling up, man. Checking us out, man. Even if you catch it, if you don't catch it live and you catch it on the. Go ahead, bro.
I was sorry. I think I'm on a delay still, but listen, hey, if we lose, I'll be there. I'm going to every game. I ain't gonna cry. I'll be talking to you. I ain't gonna have no voice to talk to you, but we'll talk. You know what I'm saying? And
I'll tell you what.
I'm not running, man. Hey, I'd rather be in this position than suck. Now the X is on our back. Go ahead and be on.
You know what? No, you're good. You know what, Petey? The one thing I'll say in relation to our counterparts in our division, especially in the South, state of Florida, okay, that we can all agree on this, okay? Bills fans and Jet fans are built different. They really, really are. I mean, I will never, Pete, I told you I grew up in Jersey, right? I had so many friends that are Jet fans. I mean, I went to some of those rich coat tight years, believe me. You know what I mean? The loyalty to Jet fan can never be questioned. We can say whatever they want about the team, right? And some of the trolls that come in our spaces and all that, but your loyalty will never be questioned, especially in comparison to our two rivals in our division. As one of them was only around when they got great. They claimed they were in New England, but they weren't. The numbers don't lie, but the Jet fans have always been there. That's one thing I'll always say.
Can I make a
And
comment on
I
that?
respect that, of course.
The one thing that bothers me the most about Dolphin fans is they're always hovering around 500. I'll get it, but they act like they're this. I know they were a storied franchise, and I hated the Dolphins. Let me say dislike the Dolphins with Marino. I grew up on that. He killed us, and I hated Miami. But they haven't been good. They haven't. And
No, they really
it's just wild how they acted like this. Not all of them, fan bases are fan bases. But come on, win a playoff game, make like it's 23 years. We got to wait another decade to catch up to them. So I think it's, I don't want to get off topic here because, it's all fun. It's just fun. The AFC
Absolutely.
East is fun, man. It used to be, it's back, which is good.
And you think about our rivalry, right? It's, in the 90s, the Bills were here, the Jets were down, right? Then you guys came up late 90s with Parcells, and then with Rex, we were down, right? But this is one of the first times that I can remember, and you guys could speak to this, where both teams are coming in hot, right? I mean, the Bills, obviously, for what we've done the last few years, we've been a Super Bowl contender the last few years. The Jets, with having one of the best drafts in recent memory, right? Last year, you're putting together this. Stop having great drafts, by the way. I'm being half kidding, but we don't want you to have too many good drafts, But no, but they're pieced together this really good team, and then you bring in a legend in Aaron Rodgers.
Well, bro, I
can't remember the last time teams were so hot.
Beyond, listen, if you get 3 picks in the first round, you better have a good draft.
True,
that's hard.
I still
hard.
Well,
what's amazing is despite the quarterback pick, you guys had one of the best drafts I've seen in a long time.
How about the Raiders when they had 3? What did they take? Didn't they have 3 a couple of years ago?
Farrell.
Yeah,
they took like Cleveland Farrell, and then they took the safety Abrams, I think it was. Yeah, they screwed that up. But this is an epic burn though right here. What's wild is despite the tax breaks and nice weather, they haven't been able to attract enough talent to get it done. Can we speak about the Dolphins really, really quickly? How many times, PD, in the spaces did we hear that Dalvin Cook was a lock? Who else?
Jonathan Taylor.
Who else was a lock to go? Like a lock.
Debo was going there last year.
Debo.
The deal's done, PD. The deal's done. It's done.
Please, Whittle,
done.
I'm in my basement right now, and I see a couple of crickets because it's by the sump pump. I'll say crickets to that.
Yeah, I know it's getting to be. It's almost 10 o'clock, so I know Viz has to pop out of here. PD, I'm sure you probably got to take it down, pretty soon yourself. So before we go, man, I don't want to. I'm not trying to kick you guys out of here. You can stay as long as you want, but before you do go, I do want you guys, if you have anything that you want to plug, take some time real quick, man, and plug what you got going on, man. Whether it be on Twitter or whatever you got going on, if you want to plug it. I mean, as long as it's family friendly, you know what I'm saying?
Well, as far as Twitter
good.
goes, I mean, you got my tag down there. You can go ahead and throw me a follow. I'm in the spaces, like Whittle said. There are some spaces where we yell at each other. We talk some BS. There are other spaces where we talk ball. I have a feeling that if the Jets are good, I could become a little bit of a personality and be insufferable this season for my posts. So take that with a grain of salt. I still know ball, but I may have to flex a little bit. We'll see though. But I am working on some things in the future. So if you have me on later on down the road, I'll have my podcast put together and we'll get going. And I know PD's got, PD always works with something. He throws spaces on every morning. So I know he said he's good, but heck, you guys got to give that guy a follow. I mean, he's got Jet spaces on every morning, and they don't just talk Jets. They have reporters come on from different teams, get insights for upcoming matchups, and they do a really good job managing everything and keeping it really respectful in there. Nobody's getting attacked, and they really try to just focus on the football side of things. So
appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate you, Petey.
Yeah, and you could follow me. You see my name. I don't like promoting. I'm a little camera shy, but I just enjoy. I enjoy people. You know what I'm saying? And you guys, have been great to me, welcoming. I know my man Whittle gets a lot of shit thrown at him. But he treats me like family. So do you, Beyond, and that's what's important to me at the end of the day. So,
and that's the way it's always going to be. Yep.
No doubt. So that's all I'm going to say. And I just, love talking sports. Sports has been with me since I'm a little kid. It's like one of my only outlets, and I just love talking sports. It's an escape from life, and it's a great escape. So that's all I'm going to say. And Paul was Viz. I can't call you Paul. You know that. I always tell you that. But it was great meeting. It was great meeting you on here, man. And you too, Beyond. Like I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
I'll stay on. I could stay on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how about real quick, guys? How about a prediction for Monday night?
Oh, I have to stop. Hey,
I'm sorry. What do I do if I jump?
I just want to say before beyond. Hold on 1 second. I just want to throw this out there. No, you good, man. Part of the reason why I even started this is because Petey. Me and Petey met in spaces. I think last year, and we just kind of hit it off, man. Like it just sometimes you interact with people and things just work. So on Twitter we met and we took it from Twitter to the phone and we met up at the game last year. And I mean he's a genuine dude, man. And he's the one that says like, yo, bro, like you know how PD talks. Like if you've been in spaces, bro, come on, bro, like you can do this, man. Like you're really good at this. And like PD just like, he kind of pushed me to kind of step out. This is really out of my comfort zone. Like I do like talking sports, but I never thought that I would be, committed to putting out a podcast and go, and the work that comes with it. So thank you, PD, for kind of opening this door, like kind of planting the seed and allowing it to grow, man. I appreciate you for that, because this wouldn't be here without PD's kind of push. And yeah, man, like I'm glad if you stay on, bro, you stay on as long as you want, man. Go ahead, Beyond. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Oh no, you're fine. And I thank you to that, Pete, because it's been a pleasure to do this with Whittle, and we're going to grow it and more as it comes along. So just wanted to get your guys. I figured, what's your predictions for Monday night? And how about this? I'll throw out, give me a prediction for the Jets record for 2023.
Okay. All right. The prediction for Monday night, we have to win our home game. We have to win our division game. We have to win our opening Monday night game. I do think that this is a more important game than just a week one. It doesn't matter if you lose week one. So I am going with a W. And if you want to do a score prediction, I was talking about it earlier, and, I just have a feeling. I think we're going to win by about 6 points, like at least 6 points. I think it's going to be knockdown, drag out. But, if momentum gets rolling, anything can happen. So fingers crossed for us, not for you guys. And then a record prediction on the season. I'm thinking we win about 10 to 11 games, realistically speaking. I go through it and I find it hard to pinpoint the losses, but I know we're going to win some that we shouldn't, and we're going to lose some that we probably shouldn't either. So 10 to 11 losses, I'm thinking, and we get in the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to go.
Or 10 to 11 wins, excuse me, not 10 to 11 losses, 10 to 11 wins.
I know what you meant, yeah. Biz. So real quick, I'll go. I told you this game could go either way. It's going to come down to, the last drive or so. I'm going to go This is a 50-50 game in my eyes. I'm going to go 23-21 Jets. And, I said 10-7 this year. Just get in the playoffs. No matter how you get in, get in. And I'm just looking forward to, first of all, good luck, guys, with all this podcast. It's going to do great. You guys have been great. And, I used to be camera shy. I still am. But, man, this is awesome. Like, good for you guys, keep growing it, man. And, live your life. Hey. Sorry.
That made my day right there.
Let's go, Buffalo.
We need that. Whittle, we need that on a
Oh
loop
God,
somewhere.
Whittle, don't remind
You know what?
Hey, Whittle,
Whittle.
I was singing that in the spaces. Remember after we beat you?
You know what, Petey? I got to get that on a video
Yep,
somehow.
yep.
Just bring that into spaces somehow every time.
Nah, don't, please.
I'm telling you,
asleep
you know how
almost
we do,
put-
man. We are walking into MetLife. At least Sean will be leading the charge. Hey, let's go, Buffalo. I'm telling you, you're gonna hear it. It's
I
gonna
can't
be
wait
loud.
to see this.
It's gonna be
I
loud.
cannot wait to
Oh,
see this in
man.
person. I really can't.
Listen, I'll say this because I was
bro,
there
I'm telling
when
you. You wait.
Whittle, can you hear me? It's on delay
Oh,
still. This sucks.
Yeah, you're good, Petey. You're
All right.
perfect.
All
Yeah, I
right,
can.
so listen, I'm not gonna lie. Even the guy I sit with, it's catchy, that song, man. So we were singing it and I called him for a week because we talk, and we were doing it. It's catchy. It's catchy, and it was loud, especially in the tunnel on the way in from leaving visiting you guys. Like, that song is catchy. Good for you. The Jet chant's gonna be deafening though, so watch out.
I will admit, Petey, when JETS Jets is at its best at the stadium, I must admit it even gives me a rush. And I'm not a farthest thing from a Jet fan, but it's intense. Like I that adds to the ambiance. Like I can't wait for that first like we said when the game starts. I can feel it already. So
Can I make one more point before I go, or before is it cool? Let me tell you, Fireman Ed, to me,
Yeah,
he's one of the best fans in the NFL because he can lead charge to that stadium. And I don't think there's a lot of people that could really do that. I really don't. Now, I know you guys have a guy dressed up or whatever. I don't know, but because I don't really follow teams like that. But to me, Fireman Ed is an icon for the Jets' success this year too, with bringing the energy and the home field advantage that we desperately need this year. So I just had to say that. And I think you agree, Beyond.
absolutely, I do.
I don't think Whittle does, though.
yeah. Fireman
messing with
Ed,
you,
bro.
Whittle.
I like Fireman Ed, man. Like and to piggyback off of what Beyond said, man. When you're in that stadium and you hear that J-E-T, and he really if it's not loud enough, Fireman Ed like, no, do it again, and it is powerful. It is powerful.
It is,
Definitely.
Yeah, there's nobody. I can't think of.
It's not gonna help you
anybody else
guys win, but it is powerful.
Like any professional sport that one singular guy like leads, and he's just a regular guy. Like, he's just a fan. Like, does that for a whole stadium. I mean, he's got the power of 10 mascots in his back pocket. That guy.
And
What section does he sit in, Petey?
Listen, and when he gets up there,
He's in. Can you hear me?
Yep.
He's in the lower
Yeah,
level,
we got
like
you, we
towards the 35, 40 yard line on the Jet side.
Okay.
Are you sitting upstairs? Are you guys?
No,
are
we're downstairs. I'm downstairs at 135, I think.
Oh, so you're on the Bills side, okay? Like at the 10-yard line or the goal line.
Yeah,
okay,
that's about right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna come over and at some point because I'm going to the Jet player walk when the Jets come in through security. So probably on my way there, I definitely want to meet you, man, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I met Whittle.
Are you going to be at the tailgates, Petey?
I mean, you guys are going to be in F, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, F what? Do you know, 6 or something?
Yep. Yeah, we'll be in F.
I don't know exactly where in F yet, but
Yeah, I'll definitely come by and
Sweet.
definitely want to meet. So I'll
Fantastic.
definitely come by and say, hey, nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, man. But Fireman Ed is great, bro. Like when he stands up, the place goes like it's all the whole building like kind of just simmers down and it's waiting on him, and he conducts that entire building, man. That is powerful, bro. That's powerful.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, he by the way, he spoke about it to me on Spaces, but when he was with his brother used to carry him up the Meadowland steps, 42, there was 42 rows, and he would go all the way up until everybody got up. It was wild. Like he would point other directions, upstairs, get up. He just tells are you kidding me? Then he goes like this. And then it's pretty powerful, man. It's
Mhm.
cool to have,
Yep.
and I just
Yeah.
hope it translates, because even the players do the chant. You could see them doing JETS, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, good luck to a great season, and I hope our season's obviously greater than yours, but no injuries, and let's have a nice, successful banter talk like we always do.
Yep, 100%. Football season starts tomorrow, boys. We're the wait is
And
over.
Oh man.
I second that with the no injuries, man. Let's keep these guys clean, and especially no significant injuries. Of course, what we saw last year. So
Yeah.
that's something, we want to see the best players on the field. Like we want our our quarterbacks to be healthy. Let's go mano a mano and see what happens.
Whittle, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I
Bills
don't
20.
want to leave. I don't want to leave, man. This has been cool. Sorry, I'm on your delay with you, but I see you laughing now. Beyond, I'm not on delay
Yeah,
with
no,
you
we
though.
good, man. I mean, listen,
Yeah. It's funny. I'm the one in
I don't know,
California.
man.
You
Maybe I
think
got
I'd
like
be the one
Cricket
on the limb?
Wireless.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I got Cricket Wireless. Hold on.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
I
so
do gotta hop
maybe,
out of here though. So
Okay. This
All right,
gave you a
Viz.
All right,
follow. Look
Viz,
forward
man. I
guys.
to
appreciate you
talking
coming
to you
through,
again.
bro.
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you for coming
absolutely.
on.
Thank you, Whittle. Thank you, Beyond. We'll definitely chat it up later on in the season. If you guys have anything after the game or in Spaces, I'll definitely catch you there. But y'all have a good
Sounds
night.
great.
And Petey, nice to meet you. Like I said, Petey,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be at that New England game, so we'll link
Yeah,
up. But
hit me up, boss. All right.
sounds good. Sounds
All
good.
right,
Thanks for meeting
Viz.
you, Paul. Have a good
Good
weekend.
night, guys.
Eight.
All right. Later, Viz.
The Beyond
And there were
leave.
three.
I'll keep
Oh.
the
No,
eye
I'm
out.
still
My
here.
fault.
We're still here.
Yeah, now I'm
Nah,
man, that was
nah,
the
I
Whittle,
pulled them
that
out by
was
accident.
fun, man. By the way, that you didn't those were kind words, bro, and I know you meant that. So thank you for that. And
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
this is good, bro. Live the dream, bro. You remember
Yeah.
that space.
We're
I don't
trying to
want
grow it, man.
to yeah, I don't want to recreate the space, but you remember I told you what if that happened, and look at what happened. And bro, you're like, I'll never forget that talk after you called me, and you're like, Petey, man. And I told you it gets overwhelming, man. And it did. You
Yeah.
saw it firsthand. But I think you grew from that, bro. You really did. And I'm happy for you, man. I really am. And
Yeah.
this is what this is about, man, like to me. So I'll, if we ever do this again, I'm, not that I'm inviting
Oh,
myself
we
back,
will,
but
Petey. You know
No,
that,
you're
man.
more than
You know,
you're a
Petey.
VIP
Come
member
on,
of
bro.
this podcast,
Yeah.
Petey. You know that already.
thank you.
We'll have you up here before we have Sheed. You see how no, I'm playing. She's my guy.
Wow.
She's my guy. She's my guy.
I see the chats blowing up here, man.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, it's
June
been
in
great.
there
We've
causing
had
trouble.
really.
Is
Yeah, June's been great.
dog coming to the game?
Yes, he is.
All right, yeah,
Yes,
I
he
definitely.
is.
Well, last time I went, I missed him by a
100%.
couple. Yeah, I hope he's gets there early this time, because
Right.
he wasn't there, because I got a lot of rounds to do that day. I'm not trying to just say that,
Oh,
but
I can't even imagine, Petey, for sure.
well,
So,
I don't I'm going to that. I need a selfie with Rogers. I got to get one. I don't know
Oh,
how
you
I pulled off one last year with Salah. I don't. It was
Yeah, I
just
remember that.
It fell right, but I don't know.
Mhm.
Either that Garrett Wilson, Brees. Or, I already got Garrett Wilson, but somebody else.
Nice.
Maybe the coach Ulbrich. That dude's a beast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for Terrell Bernard or Matt Milano to get their selfie with Aaron Rodgers. That's gonna
Yeah,
be
all
great.
right. Yeah.
That's gonna be great.
Hopefully, Bernard doesn't have a Jihad Ward moment with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no. Oh no. No, not at all. This is gonna be. There's been a lot of talk, man, and the talk. It's time for the talk to end, and it's time to get ready for the game.
Oh, Whittle's in game mode now. He's ready for Monday night.
Here, Whittle. All right. See, I got the flag hanging in the background.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice, Petey.
don't you worry. We came prepared
Oh
today.
God, that is the one big
We came prepared today.
Oh God, that is the one
Oh,
big
man.
thing. Yeah, it's coming in and
We
out now,
came
but it'll go.
prepared today. We came prepared.
We all got
Whittle,
I
I will
don't have a
not take a
flag. So.
I will not take a selfie with you with that thing on. You know
Oh.
that.
Hey, man,
All right, Petey, I'm demanding a selfie, man. We got to all get a group picture for sure.
No doubt.
When we
No
get there.
doubt.
For sure.
I'll have the wife with me. She'll be our photographer. We'll be taking tons of pictures. So
Yeah, I won't. I don't go to games with my wife.
nah. Well, she wanted
that's Petey day.
But I don't know if you know the story, but I did win Leishon. My buddy won Leishon's contest. So
yes, you did tell
he's like,
me.
yeah, you got to come out. You got to come out. So the wife's like, yeah, I want to go. And so I ended up getting her tickets too. So
awesome.
I see that
chant. I see that chant, June. Thank you. I see the chant just came out. It's gonna,
right,
guys. Listen, all jokes aside, it's gonna be electric. This is gonna be a game where you guys. I know I'm not gonna forget, but you guys are gonna remember this game for a long time. Like this is one of these games where like, yo, I was at that game. This is how I'm telling you, the crowd experience beyond, you'll appreciate it, and so will Whittle. But there's going to be loud Buffalo chant. I don't think there'll be as many Bills fans as last time because of the prices, but you guys travel well, so who knows? I do think the Jet faithful will be more louder and more Jets fans there than last time, to be honest. But it should be interesting, guys. I'm ready for it.
That's what I'm talking about, Donna.
Donna is had enough.
Donna, you was reading my mind. Listen, I just wanted to say.
Hi, Donna. How are you, Donna? Hi.
It's all. This is all great. This is fun, and genuinely, the Bills and Jets fans on Twitter, we do get along. Like there is love between the two fan bases on Twitter. There's a lot of love there. So, but
yeah,
we're still rivals. We're still rivals.
Yeah.
And I just gotta say this. Listen, Sean McDermott is 7-0 when he has 2 weeks to prepare for a football team. And last time I checked, we did not have to prepare for a football team last week. So we have 2 weeks to prepare for the New York Jets. Sean McDermott is 7-0.
You're banking that off of preseason. And by the way, what was her name? Donna?
Yeah, Donna.
Hi, Donna. It wasn't a love fest. My man Dog called me a thug, man. I thought that was hilarious. Nah, that's funny as hell. It is a love fest because this is what we should be doing. So, guys, I really enjoyed this, man. Like this was a blast, man, for real.
It's one thing we could be rivals and we could debate the games, right, Petey? Right? Yeah, we could go back and forth, but at the end of the day, there's just that level of respect behind it, right? That it's not going to get personal. It's not going to, we're not going to take personal fire shots or anything like some other fan bases do. Like we don't want to be about that. We should never be about that, no matter what happens. So,
yeah, Whittle, I see it, Whittle. Beyond, you know what I like about you and Whittle, but the more I interacted with you, the fact that you remember games from I can remember a game from the 90s, clear. I have a very fond memory about games, and that really drew me to you with that, and like, you know,
Hey,
reminiscing about stuff.
you know what's funny, Petey? I'm going to reference a Jets Bills game that I think could be like this one. Okay, 1992 Monday Night Football, Bills
Oh,
Jets. Your
yeah,
quarterback was the infamous Browning Nagel. Do you remember him?
I think that game was what I think that's the night that they lit the stadium on fire.
No, that was 80.
That
I
was
think
not
that was earlier. I think that was in the late 80s. This was like, because I remember you guys were winning. You guys were up, I think, 20-17 or 24-20. I think it was 20-17. And Kelly got the ball at our own 15. He gets sacked. And Kelly engineered an 85-yard drive to win the game. Like Thurman Thomas caught a touchdown. I never forget it.
It's crazy. I don't have
And
a
it was
fond
like,
memory of that.
I do. And I remember being in the lower deck running up and down when I used to be able to run. And my buddy's like, yo, we got to get out of here. People are throwing stuff at us and stuff. I said,
Oh
let's get the
yeah.
heck out of
Oh,
here.
the game that they lit the pom-poms on fire. You remember that, right?
That was a 88 Monday Night Football, I think.
Yes, it was. I
We
think the
won like
Bills won that.
37-14. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
and
Yeah.
I remember the porta potties were getting pushed over. It was bad there, man. It was
Browning
bad.
Nagel. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so
let's.
I remember, but you know what I remember about that game? That was an electric atmosphere, even in 1992. Even though you guys were not, you know, that was your down years. You still had that crowd was still hot, man. It was great. So
That's why Jet
fans.
That's why Jet fans are, you know, kind of special beyond. And I'm not kissing my fan base's ass.
No, you
but
are. Mm-hmm.
That I'm telling you, it's going to be different there on Monday night. Fireman had already told people to be in there by 7:30. By 8:00, the stadium will be full.
Yeah, we're going to go in early too, for sure.
So
but it's and again, it's just I can't remember when both of our teams were coming in this hot, right? And we're on national TV. We got it all to ourselves Monday night. When's the last time we could say that?
Yep. Guys, I'm gonna tune it down. But Widow, I'll let you go and finish, and then thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, Petey, man. We appreciate you coming through. Definitely, if you are on Twitter and you want to be involved with these spaces and hear things from a Jets perspective, shoot Petey a follow. Like Petey is an excellent follow. He runs a very respectful space. It's very intelligent. It's very knowledgeable. They do a lot of really good things over there. A lot of things that they do are a lot of things that he's done have influenced how we run this podcast right now. So definitely follow Petey. And yeah, man, we appreciate you coming through. The next time I would love to have you back on here at some point during the season. You know, we got you guys again in Buffalo. Maybe you can bring Joe and Clark or Mark, or you know, what I want to do next time it maybe is get like a bunch of guys to just kind of like shuffle in and out, you know, get guys in and get guys out, you know, and just kind of bring the spaces to live TV, man. Bring the spaces to YouTube and Facebook Live. So yeah, man, Petey, appreciate you again, bro. Thank you for coming through, man. And we'll talk, bro, for sure.
No doubt. You're welcome. And beyond, nice meeting you. I'll see you guys Monday,
man.
God willing.
See you Monday. Yes.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Absolutely. Peace.
Peace out.
Peace out.
That was Petey, man. That's the DILF for Twitter. You know they got MILFs with Petey's the DILF, okay?
Petey's the DILF. Yep.
Ladies, he's married. So
yeah,
back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody. I'm waiting for LeSean to pop in. I don't want to shut it down before he gets a chance to come back, but I'm not sure. Where is it? All right, I don't know, man. He jump back in. All right, so yeah, beyond we'll give it a few more minutes, but
sure.
This is a big game, bro. This is a big game. And from the standpoint of not just from the standpoint of it being against a division rival, not just from the standpoint of it being the opening game, there are media narratives surrounding both teams. The Jets are viewed to be on the ascension, primed and ready to take out a wounded Buffalo Bills team. Um, the Buffalo Bills right now are viewed to be the team on the down or that's going down, that's falling off. We don't see it that way, and we know this team better than most people. Um, I will say that last year the Buffalo Bills won 13 games, and there was a ton of things that went wrong last season, right? Um, this year, those issues have essentially been filled. They've essentially been dealt with, and if we won 13 games last year with all that went wrong, yes, the schedule's harder this year, but I think this team, is a lot better. I think this team filled some holes that were that needed to be filled, and I think that this team is paying attention. Last year for the Rams game, I went out to a place in Rawway, and Deion Dawkins' mom was there, and some of his
Hometown? Yeah,
cousins. Yeah,
nice.
it was a bunch of his family was there for it, and his mom was like, I was just just a general conversation. I was actually invited there by a guy from my Bills backers group out here in Jersey,
Cool.
and I was just saying, like, there's so much talk about how the Bills shouldn't be getting this credit, and they shouldn't be doing this because they didn't make the Super Bowl last year and all that stuff. And she was like, "Oh, they hear it." She's like, "The players hear what's being said. They know what's going on social media. So they're absolutely paying attention." So I'm hopeful that is still that still rings true today, because the amount of disrespect that this team has gotten over this offseason, for essentially one bad game all year last year. We lost 3 games in the regular season by a total of 8 points. We had the number 2 offense in the league, in the top 11 and the 11th ranked defense, with 3 All Pros missing the 4 All Pros, not Pro Bowlers, All Pros, 4 All Pros missing significant time last season. So this is the year where I think the Buffalo Bills put it together. I'm not going to predict Super Bowl, but anything less than a Super Bowl, I think, is a disappointment for this team this year. Mm-hmm. This team is too good not to at least get to the game. What do you think, Beyond?
Whittle, I'll give you just a real quick comparison, or just an analogy, so to speak, right? We've heard a lot of noise about this team nationally, right? We've heard a lot of different things, ranging from Super Bowl to being out of the playoffs. I look at the Bills right now as one of those fancy cars, right, that have maybe a few dents on the front. Like, maybe we saw the optics with Diggs, and, maybe Poyer's getting a little older, and we got a dent, Micah Hyde's coming back from injury, right? We got a hole at middle linebacker. Maybe there's another little dent, right? Maybe some of the paint is fading just a little bit, right? But you know what happens, Whittle? You open up the hood, right? And you see the engine. You see Josh Allen, and you see Stephon Diggs, right? You see our general manager, Brandon Beane, still one of the best in the business. Sean McDermott, still one of the best coaches in the business. Great record November, December, right? Yes, he still has to get it done in the playoffs, but you know what? Take a number. There's a lot of coaches that need to get it done in the playoffs. It's very hard to win a Super Bowl, right? So I look at that's the analogy I look at the Bills right now. We're one of those really nice, still phenomenal cars, but maybe we got some imperfections on the outside. But if you look on the inside, you look at the interior, and you look at underneath the hood, man, we could still rev it, right? Well, we could still rev that engine. We still got plenty of horsepower left to go where we want to go, right? We do have questions. Who doesn't, right? We heard this from Kansas City last year. People are writing them off last year, right? And here we are again. We see it. Chris Sims didn't pick us to even make the playoffs. I mean, I find that ridiculous. You want to pick us to lose the division, that's fine. Even the Bills in the Super Bowl years they lost their division one year, and we still got to the Super Bowl. I could even see a scenario where that happens, right? So the question is, Whittle, and you notice this is better than anybody here. Are we better equipped? Even if we get in at 11-6, let's just use a worst case scenario, right? Do we have what it takes to get to that next step? Over the Bengals, over the Chiefs, and no matter where we play them. I don't care where we play them. It doesn't really matter with this team. So I feel like we are. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think we find that out this year. This is the year we find out exactly what this team is made of, right? Last year we took a bunch of punches and we stood up as long as we could until, we took that standing 8 count. The Bengals moved on and we went home, right? This year we find out exactly how good this team is. We find out not just how good the team is, but what type of mental mental fortitude this team has. How tough is this team? Is this team willing to challenge? Is this team willing to be challenged and rise to the occasion and meet that challenge head on and overcome it? I think it is. A lot of questions have been asked about what are you guys going to do on that offensive line? What are you guys going to do at middle linebacker? Well, we're going to find out. Like, the pieces are in place. The talking stops because pads are strapped on and football will be played this weekend. And it starts tomorrow night. Kansas City Kansas City and Detroit kick off the season this year. And, we end off week 1. With a game against the Jets, and one fan base is going to be happy, one team's going to be happy, one team's going to be pissed. But I just want to let the Jet fans know, man, 0-1 is not that bad. You'll be fine. 0-1 is not that bad. Okay,
we're here for you.
Yeah, man. With that being said, we are close to the 90-minute mark. So, I want to take this time to, number one, say thank you to the guests that came through. Viz popped in, very knowledgeable guy. PD popped in, he's the face of Jets Twitter. That's my guy, PD, real good dude. And LeSean popped in. LeSean has some technical difficulties, but we're gonna do another show with him and the rest of the 4 horsemen. And we'll get some stuff going with that. But yeah, man, listen, y'all know where to find us now. Like, we here, okay? Every Wednesday from 9 to 10, you can catch us. Now I know it's 10:30 now, but we had a bunch of guests, and this is a big game, the season opener. So, Beyond, what you got for me?
Listen, I think, quick prediction, we may be down late in this game. There's going to be some uncomfortable moments for us sitting in that stadium. But what does the great Pierre say from Buffalo Fanatics? Remember who we have. Joshua Patrick Allen and the offense leads us to a late 27-23 victory. And I fly home a happy man to California on Tuesday. That's my prediction.
I like it. I like it. I have it a little different. I think this defense is better than what people think. Leonard Floyd is an excellent run defender. They've got Brees Hall. They got Dalvin Cook for a reason. Aaron Rodgers was his best. He went to the Super Bowl on one of his down statistical years, and the reason why is because that defense was excellent in Green Bay that year, and they ran the ball a lot. So I think they're going to try to recreate that this year. But we got to be good but we're good against the run. We got Gregory Rousseau on one side. He's probably our best defensive end against the run. Leonard Floyd is a close second behind him as a run defending defensive end. You got Shaq Lawson, who's excellent against the run. Daquan Jones. Like, we could just keep naming guys, but this is a challenge. Week 1 is a challenge, and I think the Buffalo Bills. This is a statement game for us. We need to go ahead and win this game because a lot of people are counting us out. So with that being said, next week we're going to talk about the Vegas Raiders. We got the Vegas Raiders in week 2, and I'm looking forward to that game because we should be 1-0.
Home opener too.
I think. Yeah, home opening. Hamlin running
Always
out.
special. Always special.
Easy. It's gonna be crazy. All right, so to everybody in the chat, Donna, Tommy, June, Dog, man, we appreciate y'all. All of you, whoever came in and viewed, man, thank you. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell so you make sure that you get the content that we're putting out there. We got some other things popping off later on. It's gonna be a little different than the spaces, but it's still gonna be good stuff, man. So thank you again, man, and for Widow 2K, man, and Brian Beyond 716, man. We signing off, man. Thank you for tuning in to Coast to Coast.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone, and a great weekend.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.